guys. I'm like, I am stuck between the couch and the coffee table, and I'm trying to give myself a bit more room here. Oh my goodness. All right. So I wanted to say thank you to all of the viewers who tuned in for last night's reading. It was a doozy and very emotional and unplanned. And I think one of the things that I'm noticing, and we've talked about a bit before on the channel, is that um, with regards to my shuffling, um, sometimes cards fall out, and sometimes, like, as I'm shuffling the cards, I'll get like one card will light up for me. It might be yellow, it might be green, it might be pink, it might be purple, like etheric light, and then I'll pick those cards, which you can see I did last night. And one of the things that I'm noticing is that when I do that, I am generally tuning in and picking up messages that seem to resonate maybe a bit more personally for me. So I thought I would jump on and do another new moon in Libra reading for the collective. And these are all jumpers. So none of these cards I've picked myself. And I think I had a bit of time to set up. So we'll take a look at this setup here. And I'm just going to go element by element. So you'll be able to um, get an understanding of how you want to use this reading based on where Libra is for you in your chart and also your sun, moon, rising, or if you have a stellium in any particular sign. Sorry, I've gone to a breathwork workshop today and I'm a little bit spacey, I have to say. I did like an hour and a half of breathwork, and then I went lunch with some friends, and then I did another hour of breathwork. So I'm pretty buzzy right now. All right, let's dive into it, and we're going to start off with air, water, fire, and earth. And I will let you know whether the cards came out face up or reversed, and we can just talk about it as we go. So I use the in-between tarot deck to get an idea of what it is that each sign needs to work on. And all right, let's just dig into it. We have for air sign, and these came over face down. We have got and so it's the in-between tarot. We have the 3 of coins and the 4 of coins, but the way this came out was in reverse. So it was the 4 of coins to the 3 of coins, and then the 5 of coins to the 4 of coins. So there is something cyclical going on here for our air signs, and it has to do with stability. And if we look at the 4 of coins to the 5 of coins, we have got all of these women sort of scrubbing the floor of what looks to be some sort of church or something like that. Or maybe they're on their hands and knees picking up these like beggars picking up these coins. And then the other card we have is the 3 of coins to the 4 of coins, which is sort of, 3 of coins is about working together, and the 4 of coins is about stability here. But what I'm noticing about, like, this is quite interesting. We've got these women here, and they're either working on these coins, kind of like as in the 8 of Pentacles card, but they're at the foot of this big giant with this big pentacle. So both of these cards to me are saying something about servitude and essentially cycles of servitude. With them being in reversed, it is so we went from the 5 to the 4, no, the 4 to the 3 to the 5 to the 4. So we start at the 4 and we end up back at the 4. And yet we've gone through, the 5 of coins is sort of about loss and um about desperation and need. And like I said, the stability here seems to be provided by this statuesque figure. With these being in reverse, what this is saying to me is that with the 3 and the 5, that there's been some contracts here where there's essentially been nothing valuable that's been achieved. So a contract's been entered into, and some time or some cycle has gone by, and nothing much has come out of that situation. So there's feelings of loss, there's feelings of inadequacy, and there's also frustration here um, with the um, with this card being in reverse. These women are not interested or happy at being at the foot of this power here. So the message to me here is about for our air signs, and this new moon in Libra is about balancing what we need and how we get it. And potentially about with this 4 of coins in reverse here about, not taking more than we need and not taking from people and powers that we don't find resonance with. The next card that we have that's come off as a crossing energy here is the 7 of Cups. And so the 7 of Cups is a card of illusion and fantasy. And you can see here that the cups that he's reaching for aren't even real. So I do think for our air signs that the new moon in Libra, what we're balancing is illusions and mirages with respect to our stability and the way that we find that stability with the people, places, and situations around us. The inspiration card that we have picked is Nurture Mind and Body. And so, again, I feel like with Libra being an air sign, and I'm reading for the air signs, um, the new moon is about resetting our balance between what we go after in the physical and what it is that we are trying to manifest um, with our thoughts. So we might have an idea of what we want, but we need to make sure that when we go after what it is that we want, that we're being very specific and we understand exactly what it is that's in the cups and whether or not it is illusory or not. The oracle card that I have picked, and we're using the Beyond Lemuria deck, is called Awakened Awareness, and I will read the message for you. So, again, about balancing physical contracts with our mental ideas of what it is that we're trying to manifest. There are many levels of awakening. Keep learning and putting yourself into situations where you can grow. Stay aligned with your inner guidance and do what you love to keep your vibe high. Seek not instant pleasure, but substantial and sustainable joy. So, again, this is about what is illusory and what is not. Seeking out things that are substantial. It says, eat healthily, keep your body active, and have life goals, but with enough space to hear the answers to your prayers. Find your unique way to connect with the divine inside you, not as an external seeking, but as a receptive allowing. Be inspired to see the question at hand with a different perspective. Look between the lines for a deeper interpretation. All right, air signs, thanks for tuning in. And this is your message on what you can set intentions around and meditate for our Libra new moon. On to our water signs. All right, water signs. We have pulled here the Eight of Coins in reverse. So the Eight of Coins is about doing something over and over again and perfecting that skill. W- When it turns up in reverse, and so this card is the bridge between the 8 and the 9. The 8 is about w mastering our craft, and the 9 is about having honed those skills that allow us to manifest what it is that we want because we have all of the requisite skills and abilities under our belt, and we've got the experience necessary to attain the star figure here. And in this card, you see that the lady is essentially she's um, lecturing at a suffrage movement, um, and so there's 2 things that are coming up here. Like, one, obviously, with this suffrage card, and the lecturing in reverse, it says to me that potentially our water signs are not doing a service to the feminine energy. They're doing a disservice to the feminine energy, and by the card being in reverse, it's saying that you don't yet have full mastery of the skills that you need to move into the 9 of coins, and you're essentially being asked to revert back and move back to the 8 and to, maybe work on balancing the masculine and the masculine energy. Like, work and action are required in the 8 to go back to the 8 and understand the workings of the 8 of Pentacles, and balancing the masculine at the 8 so that, um, you can be receptive in the 9. So I feel like, you know, um maybe you're working on skills that just aren't coming through for you and you're missing there's a message here about a missing step, and it's something that I do believe that you have the ability to receive assistance with. Um, the Okay, and this card came out face up as well. So it tells me that this is something that is very blatant and obvious for people around you to see. We also have the Hanged Man in reverse here. So the Hanged Man is when we put ourselves into a state of suspension to allow for a period of enlightenment. With the card here being in reverse, it's telling me that, this is going to be a period, whether we're talking about just the single lunar phase or the full lunar transition, the 18-month period between Libra to Libra. In both cases, there's aspects here about needing being essentially being forced to go into that isolation phase so that we can pick up the skills that we are lacking and move into a phase where we actually have the skills to command what it is that we're trying to establish with the 8 of coins. Interesting. Um, the inspiration card that we have here is "You are gorgeous." So for some of our viewers, this does have to do with something about our physical looks. So it could be that, you know, with this suffrage in reverse, one of the messages that I'm getting is, um, you know, this sorry, I want to make this reading less about me and more about the collective. So some women like to dress very scandalous and very sexy and very appealing, and they find that to be liberating. Other women find that to be a point where it just reinforces the male gaze or men objectifying women. And so, what I got from this is that maybe there is some level of understanding and picking apart sort of that Madonna whore complex within yourself. And also, there's another thing coming through with, I think that there could be with the 8 of Pentacles here, like working on ourselves, working on our physical appearance, um, maybe putting in too much effort where the effort sort of sets us back. And, we can look at Donatella Versace, for example. She put so much work into the plastic surgery, and it took her years, and she hasn't really sort of fixed up a lot of that botched surgery. So things can be taken too far to the point where we actually sort of revert backwards. And it's because there's a lack of something that is missing there. Um, and so it's about understanding and finding that enlightenment about what it is. Now, the other thing that I was downloading here was, um, oh, I've missed it. All right, give me a second and see if it comes back to me, because there was 3 aspects. The one was the Madonna whore, the other was picking up the skills. We've already talked about that, but in relation to physicality, you are gorgeous. Oh, yeah. Um, so about balancing the way that, like, you know, are we interested in just being known for our appearance? Or are we interested in being known for the actual skill and talents that we have developed over time? Are we getting ahead based on just our physical appearance? Or, this even makes some sort of reference to the connections that we have. Or have we actually um, given ourselves the skills and the tools that we have? It's interesting, like my Mars and my 10th house are in Cancer. So um yeah, I do see, I mean, I'm a new YouTuber, and I've been practicing some thinking about practicing some skills on creating better video titles and those sorts of things. So um okay. The inspiration card that we have here, and this is a really beautiful one from the Beyond Lemuria deck, is Our Ancient Future. So it says, an ancient remembering is emerging. Seed crystals and the knowledge they imbued are becoming unearthed. Those who see a better future are not just dreaming, their hearts and minds are hearkening to the core of earth based traditions to bring through knowledge that will help shift this paradigm into balance. This card is imbued with activations, and you are being showered with blessings in preparation for a transformation. It may be turbulent at times, but you will grow and heal through the coming journey. You can navigate a situation you have no experience with by being truly present. Integrity and intuition will guide you. So, I do really feel like for our water signs here that this Libra new moon is about understanding what integrity means for us and how that integrity is grounded into physical reality with the suit of the pentacles being here. All right, thanks, water signs. I hope you enjoy your new moon and this has helped you set some intentions. Moving on to our fire signs. So we have here the Queen of Cups to the King of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is all about balancing our emotions within us. And the King of Cups is about balancing our emotions with respect to our relationship with others. And particularly here, this card seems to be very much about balancing our emotions with respect to family for a lot of you with the family here on the card. This new moon is in Libra, which is an air sign. And one of the things that I've really noticed about this is the plumage on this man's head with all of these feathers. And in our traditional tribes, these headdresses were made with feathers that were given as we came through ceremony and as we came through practice and experience. So, look, the other card that we have here is the Four of Wands, which is our portal card. And what's interesting about this portal card is that all of these it looks kind of like a scout group planning a hike here. Um, and so, what I'm getting is that this Libra new moon, in order to balance, to bring about a transformation in the house that Libra occupies for you, is really all about um, learning how and working with the people around us to create that balance. So, taking the balance that we already feel within ourselves and expressing that with other people um, and manifesting with that as well. Although we haven't seen any pentacle cards here, I do feel, these people are manifesting a walk. They're planning a walk. They're planning a journey together. And so it's about bringing long-term emotional stability um, into our relationships that are going to lead us somewhere. They're going to take us on a journey and lead us somewhere. We have happiness, passion, and purpose. So, passion and purpose can be a way to create group cohesion for our fire signs and allow us to bring that balance that we feel within us, the happiness and joy that we derive from working our passion and our purpose. Um, and to resonate that amongst a group of people that we're working with. So use that passion and purpose as a tool to drive you in bringing that stability amongst a group. Now, the oracle card that we have pulled here is Trust Your Inner Sense. And this card to me really does, like, this is a very sort of air quality card to me. Just the colors and the um, delicate nature and the sparkles. But mainly the color palette makes me feel very, like, in a very etheric, very airy energy here. It says sometimes it can be hard to decipher between intuition and what our mind is telling us. Stories, projections, or fear can arise under the guise of intuition. To distinguish truthful inner guidance from paranoia, we must return to innocence and our purest essence. Here we have access to the truth of our being. Honesty is more than not lying to yourself. It is also about not withholding and having deep transparency within yourself. Learn to trust and be absolutely honest with yourself. In your heart of hearts, you hold the answers. Notice the first thoughts that you have before you second guess yourself. Listen and honor these. So I think for our fire signs, moving into a place of leadership here with this, this chief looks like he's standing at the forefront. He's wearing the headdress. Um, so it's really about um, taking these qualities that we have with being absolutely true and transparent within ourselves and using those qualities to lead. So I can have truth and transparency within myself, but how does that actually relate to the group? How do group truths manifest, and how do we honor the truths of the group? So this is an interesting opportunity for our fire signs to look at those leadership qualities and to work on those over the next 1 to 18 months. All right, thanks, fire signs. Next, we have our earth signs. Earth signs, we have pulled this King of Cups in reverse card for you. All right, so this is what the card looks upright. Okay, so this is the King of Cups to the Page of Cups. This is about, we've got this chief here, and this could be his grandson, right? That he's lifting up and hoisting up. Pages are children, and they represent new ideas and new, fresh thoughts. And in this suit here of cups, um, what this is saying to me is that our earth signs are having blockages with moving with they're stuck in. So the King of Cups is how we relate to emotionally to the world around us. And it's saying that in reverse, it's saying that they're not allowing for new ideas and new ways of relating. This card came out face up, by the way. So that tells me that this is something that everybody can see. But then the rationale for that came up face down. So the rationale here is the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. These are really difficult cards here. The Knight of Swords here looks like very evil, and the Knight of Wands here almost looks like he's maybe submitting and throwing in the f- the flag. He could be rushing around with this flag, but you could almost read this card like he's standing or that he's like falling to his knees. And it's unclear whether this flag that he's waving is um an orange or red flag or a white flag, and we're just not quite seeing it in the light. So it tells me that the reason for the blockage and not allowing new emotions to development is because of, you know, thoughts and brutal thoughts, either of yourself or other people towards you. And maybe sort of surrendering, or like I said, he isn't kneeling in this because you can see his boots down here. And he's probably waving his fist ready to charge towards battle, but it's not really obvious that that's the case. And this card could almost be read as, you know, surrendering to the brutality, the brutal thoughts um, that keep coming up for our earth signs here. So we have to transmute these thoughts, these brutal thoughts, to allow for new ideas and new emotions to arise. Two cards came out for us. We have laughter and being grateful. So these are the ways that our earth signs can use to work through and transmute these emotions to allow for space for something new to develop. We've got the Realm Bridger card here for our earth signs, and it says, as you raise your vibration and explore different states of consciousness, you may experience phenomena you believed only happen in fantasy stories. Through meditation and journaling, we invite greater awareness of subtle realities. These realms can be amazing places to bring through pioneering ideas and creativity. This card is about bridging the seen and the unseen. Just as water changes from solid to gas to liquid, we can catch the intangible in other forms. Metaphors, codes, or even math can form the path of the visionary. From the mind and the heart, visions can merge into matter. Dream outside the box. It's time to create the foundations of your realities in a fresh and new way. All right, Earth signs, I hope you're able to garner some inspiration here to work through some of those challenging blockages with regards to your emotions. Um, remember that our thoughts create our feelings, create our emotions. So, um, yeah, really work on balancing those thoughts and allowing for new thoughts and just ways of um, new ways of transmuting that energy through um, small periods of joy, happiness, contentment, and fun. All right, all signs, thanks for tuning in. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do a second reading for the new moon. Yesterday's reading was hopefully helpful to somebody, but very personal and very emotional. So I hope this better suits the collective and gives you something that you can lean on to when setting your intentions for the new moon.